Welcome back to It's a Long Way Through. Uh, so, you caught me, or I didn't plan it this way, but I was going to do this video, and I was going by the country store on my way out of camp, going down to the dojo to work, and sometimes I stop and get an ice cream sandwich. Now, I don't generally keep ice cream in the freezer back at camp, because I know what happens if I have it at camp all the time. But I do enjoy walking up to the store occasionally with family or friends after dinner on the weekends and grabbing an ice cream sandwich. Because to me, ice cream sandwiches and their simplicity are incredible. And every once in a while, on my way to work, I'll stop. I gotta go by the store anyways. I'll stop in and grab one, and they know it when I show up going to the door. It's funny because the owners of the store, they have two dogs and are usually in the store, and I always have treats on me because Odin's with me. Although I don't know if you can see him right now, he's in the back. But I sometimes I think I'm just going in to give them treats because I think that's what they think. It has nothing to do with me. It's always as soon as they see me, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I got to give them treats. But hey, today I wanted to talk to you about something that reminded me of a childhood event, and the ice cream sandwich was what brought it up. A couple of weeks ago, excuse my mouthful, we were walking up to the store, myself and I believe, geez, why am I not remember? Yeah, it was my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law was with us, and I brought up a story. We're talking about the old days because that's what we do. We all talk about the old days. Hey, Odin, he is back there, and my younger brother, who's her husband, he doesn't remember this. He's 4 years younger than me. But we were living like most people in the 70s back then. This was in the 70s. I don't even think we were living paycheck to paycheck. Matter of fact, if I remember right, and if I have a good understanding of how Dad and Mom were dealing with their bills back then, and I think I do from years to talking to Dad about this, it wasn't living from paycheck to paycheck. We were going in debt every year. How we paid the bills, or how Mom and Dad paid the bills, I don't know. But that was a lot of people back in those days. But at any rate, so Mom, Dad, and I grew up in a small little town in New Hampshire, and there was all the little New England towns were spread throughout, and generally, you met friends and neighbors that were not only in your town but in other towns too, because there weren't too many people in town, in the town you lived in. So you were constantly meeting friends and family members in other towns. And there was a little town south of us, or bordered us, called New Boston. And for whatever reason, we went over to New Boston, and I can't remember the exact details, but we went into this house. If they were friends or an acquaintance, I can't remember. But the mom or the wife of the couple asked me if I wanted a glass of milk. Now, I loved milk, and let me put it this way, I liked milk. I said, absolutely. She pours me a glass of milk, or I'm assuming she poured it. She came around the corner and gave it to me, and I drank this milk. Now, I remember thinking to myself, wow, what is this? This has got to be some super kind of unnatural milk, because I have never tasted anything like this in my life. Never like this isn't milk. This isn't this is something beyond milk. But it was milk. You see, I had nothing but powdered milk all my life at that point. If you don't know what powdered milk is, it's what I'm telling you it is. It's powdered milk. It came in a box, and you would pour water into a cup or in a pitcher, and you would add the powder, and you would get, and I can't remember exactly what it tastes like because it's been 50 years, probably 48 years since I had powdered milk. But it was chalky. It was blah. It was like water with a paste in it. I don't know. At least it was after that, because that was real milk this lady gave me. Real milk. And I think I made such a stink about it, we never went back afterwards. How Mom did it, I don't know, but we started buying real milk. Unless you've had powdered milk, you will take milk for granted if you drink it all the time. I would encourage you all to go and buy, just for the heck of it, a box of powdered milk and try it, because everybody needs to try it, because it'll give you a whole new appreciation, if you're a milk drinker, about the milk that you buy in the grocery store, or the milk you get from the local farm, especially if you're drinking 2% or whole milk. Now, I stopped drinking when I was a kid. I drank tons of milk, gallons of it. I stopped drinking that much milk a long time ago, along with soda and all kinds of other things. But last couple of years, I got back into the habit of buying a 2% organic milk from one of the big local farms that sells to the grocery stores up here. And I'll pour a glass of milk sometimes with a blueberry scone or something like that, and I really enjoy it, but I don't drink it like I used to. But anyway, that conversation, I don't know how it got to me. My sister-in-law had never had powdered milk, and she didn't understand it. She couldn't fathom it. So that's my story about powdered milk. The only other thing that can probably relate to it is growing up too, because we didn't have a lot of money. I never had soda till I was probably in my teenage years. We had Kool-Aid. Now, the funny thing about it was, not that we were on this big sugar kick back then, because nobody talked about sugar being bad for you, really, other than the fact that it gave you cavities if you had too much of it. The underlying issues with sugar and what it does to your overall health, your heart, your blood flow, all that stuff, that wasn't even a thing back then. But it was about cavities, sugar and you get cavities. But so we had never had soda. So I can remember. Now I don't drink soda. I haven't drank it in probably 20-something years. I can remember the first time I had a Coca-Cola, or it was a Pepsi. I can't remember if it was Coca-Cola or Pepsi. But I was like, whoa! So, if you're a soda drinker, go and drink Kool-Aid, watered down Kool-Aid, put a little bit of sugar in it, and drink that for a couple months, then go back to your soda. Better yet, don't go back to your soda. I don't recommend that. But if you need to, if you want to appreciate it more, go drink Kool-Aid for a month. So at any rate, I digress. That was just on my mind. I had stopped, like I said, stopped at the store on the way down to work to go grab that ice cream, and I meant to tell this story earlier. But that's powdered milk, folks. Hey, take care. We'll see you.